Gianni the Greek over the past 30 days has increased client bankrolls by plus 47%. Is looking to repeat his 2020 #1 overall profit title at WagerTalk, where he not only took the title last year, but has never had a losing calendar year at WagerTalk and is #1 and 2 in all profits across all sports. Right now, you can lock in 45 days of plays for the price of 30 for a limited time, saving yourself $200+ over the regular price.
Welcome, everybody. It's June 23rd, a Wednesday. You're watching WagerTalk Today with Teddy, Covers, and me, Lawrence Presman. And we got a lot of soccer, some NBA, and some almost no baseball today, Teddy. Tony Mejia joining us right off the top. We're going to talk about the NBA game and the Copa Americana soccer, Brazil versus Colombia. Carmine, of course, making his daily appearance this week as we're in the midst of one of the most important and most watched tournaments in the world, the Euro 2020. He's going to look at the Germany-Hungary game, and we're going to jump to the Portugal-France game. And, of course, Arthur DiCesare at the top of the show. Teddy, your big game breakdown, my penalty box segment, which stunk yesterday. But let's start right off the bat. Before we even go into what did we learn, Paul George, yikes. And how about the ending to that Phoenix Suns game? Wow, Teddy, wow.
Yeah, it took a while. The last 10 seconds of that game, it felt like it took, I should have put a stopwatch on because it took, 20 minutes? Half an hour? The reviews and then another review and then another review and then another review. The word about the pace of baseball, the pace of the final minute of the Suns Clips last night was pretty brutal for fans,
Yeah.
From a betting standpoint, the Clips were going to cover. And in fact, Paul George missing those free throws, probably good for Clippers bettors. They didn't want that game to go to overtime because I'm not sure overtime would have worked all that well for them. But when it comes to free throw misses at the end of a close game that we're going to remember for a long time, Clips win that game if George hits those two free throws. They did not win that game with George missing those two free throws, and he's an 80-something% free throw shooter. He's not supposed to miss them both. That's one of those gaffes that has already affected the number for Game 3 in this series. The betting market's expecting a hangover for the Clips losing a game they were supposed to win.
Which is strange, and I haven't handicapped this game yet, but, right off the top, I thought to myself after he missed those two, he's going to come back as one angry dude in Game 3. So I don't know if I'm feeling what the line makers and betting public are laying down, but hey, we're all different. Teddy, what did you learn last night in the wonderful world of sports betting?
Sure. Well, last night was the NBA draft lottery. Everyone's winners and losers in the whole 9 yards. Of course, the Pistons get the #1 overall pick or get the chance to trade the #1 overall pick. Cade Cunningham likely to be the #1, although they're talking to Evan Mobley. Could be the upset in that regard. Pistons, then the Rockets. The Cavs move up. The Raptors move up at 3 and 4. Orlando drops at 5, and then everything else went as expected down the stretch. And everyone's all the winners and losers of the draft lottery. And then you go back and look at any year. Literally, you can go back and look at NBA draft results any year. Let's see. It was 2018, which I think is a reasonable time to look back. And you say, well, gee, Luka went 3rd. Who went 2nd? Marvin Bagley. All right. We say, oh, Trae Young went 5th. Who went 6th? Mo Bamba. Who got picked first? Kevin Knox or Michael Bridges? Yeah, it was Bridges. And Gilgeous-Alexander went right after Bridges. Teams consistently get lottery picks wrong, just like they get later first-round draft picks wrong. And I don't blame the teams. It's really hard to predict this stuff. So when it comes to winners and losers from the draft lottery last night, tap it down a notch, dude. The Pistons won. Everybody else, best of luck. with your selections. But there are no locks, there are no guarantees, and teams year in, year out make huge mistakes in the lottery that end up sending their franchise back. So don't worry too much about the lottery results last night. That's what I learned, Prez. What about you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, on that note, right off the top, Teddy, I live in Toronto. I'm a Raptor fan. And I look at it as, hey, they're saying the top 4 guys in the draft are all number 1 picks on any given year. I think who knows which one of those 4 is going to be better than the other, but I think all 4 will work out. I don't know if all 4 will be superstars, but I mean, I'm pretty confident Jalen and Evan and Cade, I'm on first name basis with these guys. I'm sure they're all going to work out fine. I mean, I'm excited as a Raptor fan, but listen, the Raps I can speak to specifically. I would not be surprised if this team trades down. Anyway, what did I learn last night, Teddy? I just want to say it for the record, flat out, to the Andrew McKinnises of this world, to the Buster Sports of this world, and to all the other Montreal Canadian fans, I have never been more wrong about a team in my. I mean, maybe go back to the Trent Dilfer days. Like, I have never been more wrong about a team, and I just want to lay it out there for everyone to know. I thought the Montreal Canadiens stunk. They were the 16th best team coming into the playoffs. They almost never made the playoffs, and now they're putting on a generational performance based on how they did during the regular season. Just an unbelievably impressive victory last night against Vegas. It's just amazing what Montreal is doing right now. And other than that, keep playing against the Orioles, and you should be doing just fine in life. Wouldn't you agree?
So we talk about the concepts in MLB, and one of the concepts that I struggle with in MLB is the low-hanging fruit. The plays that are obvious, the plays that everybody's on, the plays. I mean, and it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to figure out bet against the worst teams in baseball when they're slumping, like Baltimore. Have I taken advantage of it? I have not. And it frustrates me, Prez. It really does. The low-hanging fruit in MLB is worth something. And for those of you who've been betting against teams like Baltimore, done fairly well in recent weeks. And of course, same thing you've been fading Arizona. Same thing you've been fading. There have been a number of really ugly skids in recent weeks that, if you're sharp enough, or sharp is not the right word there, but if you're consistent enough to play those day in, day out, you've done very well in recent weeks.
Well, I'm eating up again, Teddy. I've won 5 days in a row of betting. I'm on a 4-0 and 7-2 baseball run. And I want to mention really quickly, look, if you're playing against Arizona, if you're playing against Baltimore, you're playing with a lot of juice here. Today's game, Houston minus 190, give or take. My suggestion to most people is take a look at the teams they're playing against. If Arizona's playing against a high-scoring team, the bats are alive. I'm looking to play minus 1.5 against these teams. I'm not playing on the money line. Last 2 days in a row, I was on Houston minus 1.5, and yesterday was quite the sweat. But they got it done in the 8th inning. So there's a little tidbit for you guys. When you're playing these bad teams, especially when they're at home, don't be shy to play them on the run line. Teddy, let's bring Tony Mejia in. Tony, it looks like you've had a haircut. Welcome to WagerTalk Today.
Hello, guys. I've been bedridden for the last 24 hours or so, but getting it out for you two.
What happened?
Oh, just not feeling well.
Okay, well, guys, if there's any reason you need to hit that like button. Tony Mejia has been in bed for 24 hours. Not only did he make the show, but he even shaved his head to do it. So please hit that like button. And also, real quick, everybody, We are less than 100 subscribers away from 72,000. Please, we want to hit that today. If you have not subscribed to our channel, WagerTalk TV, please take 2 minutes to do so. It would be greatly appreciated. Tony, let's get straight into it. Atlanta Bucks game tonight. I know you want to talk a prop bet, so I'll just hand the mic over to you.
All right. Well, this is an interesting series because the spread is 8. And the only time that these two teams played in Milwaukee this season, the spread was 12, but that's misleading because Trae Young didn't play in that game, and neither did Clint Capella. Rajon Rondo actually started that game for the Hawks at the point. So that tells you how far into the season that was, way back in January. The last 2 games have been in April and in Atlanta, but Trae Young only played in one of those. So it's kind of a difficult handicap. And then my prop bet for tonight is to fade Kevin Huerter, but I'm going to put a condition on that. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a game time decision due to his knee. He's probably going to play. He's dealing with some knee soreness. So that would knock Huerter back to the bench. Obviously, everybody saw what Huerter was able to do in helping the Hawks defeat the 76ers. So that's an instant fade right there. And the number is only 12.5. But yeah, if Huerter is not going to play major minutes because Bogdanovic is back, I really like the under on that.
So I want to ask you, Tony, is that one you want to bet now? Because it feels like the markets are telling us they don't think Bogdanovic is going to play. There's been a fair bit of Bucks money showing over the last 24 hours, and yet I haven't seen any update on his status. I'm not expecting to see an update on his status until, maybe the hour or two at the earliest before tip-off. But the markets are saying they don't think he's going to play and or be effective. Is that something we want to bet sooner, or is that something we want to hold off and bet later?
No, you definitely want to hold off on it. Get clarification that Bogdanovic is going to play for this particular bet to fade Huerter. Because obviously, if Huerter is going to see major minutes, and he's definitely capable of getting to 12.5. So yeah, that's the condition on this. If Bogdanovic plays, you fire a fade on Kevin Huerter.
Tony, let's talk soccer. We got the Euro 2020 going on. You're late, but man, there's so much interest in that tournament. They're just about to enter the round of 16. But at the same time, with very little coverage, we have the Copa America going on. And tonight we have a big game between Colombia and Brazil. I know you like the total in this game. It's 8 p.m. Eastern start. Should be a fun game to watch. Some incredible soccer coming out of the Copa. How do we bet this game?
Well, I'm going to bet the high side. Colombia has been really disappointing since opening the tournament with a 1-0 win over Ecuador. They tied Venezuela, scoreless draw. It was a really a tough game for them. They should have won that game. It's squandered chance after chance. And they come off a loss to Peru. So, Colombia's kind of down in this tournament, whereas Brazil has scored 7 goals over their 2 wins, haven't allowed a goal, and actually have 3 tallies in the 89th minute or deeper into the game. So, they're hammering away on teams. And these are the top 2 teams in Group B. So, one of those games where I think Brazil wants to head into the knockout stage with a victory. Colombia wants to get back on track. This is their last game of the group. It looks like they'll advance because Ecuador and Venezuela are struggling as much as they are. So I think they'll really get out there and it'll be a lively game.
So, Tony, talk to me about this over 2.25 goals. I know there are a lot of beginning or recreational soccer bettors out there that may not know exactly what you mean when you talk about over 2.25. That's a different betting strategy than over 2.5 and or over 2. Talk about that for just a minute.
Yeah, that's an Asian handicap, and you can get a half loss if it gets to 2, where you only lose half your investment. If it gets to 1, you obviously lose it, and then if you get to 3, you're going to win. The over 2.25. So that's the way that works, because you can probably find a 2.5 line, which is more conventional. Right. But I saw a handful of 2.25s, and again, it's the Asian handicap style.
Yeah, so just to confirm, Tony, if you bet $100 on the over 2.25 and it hits 2, you get half your wager back, right?
Correct.
Right. Beautiful. Tony Mejia, everyone. Tony, I know we didn't plan anything. Is there anything in baseball that stands out to you want to quickly talk about?
I'm gonna once I hobble back into bed, I'm gonna grab my laptop and start looking at what I like today. Just didn't have the energy to do it yesterday, so get back on track in baseball. I thought about a 5% play in this NBA series tonight, but probably not going to pull the trigger on that. I'm 10-1, so I really want to finish the month out strong in these NBA playoffs with a 5% play. But I really do. It's going to be an interesting series. I was a little surprised that the spread is as high as it is. Teddy mentioned it. It seems like it's a Bogdanovich thing, and the Bucks are the heavy favorite, and they're undefeated at home in this postseason.
Yeah, and I'm with you. It was amazing to me that the line was so high, especially given that Milwaukee has just been so inconsistent, and Trae Young just looks to be the Reggie Miller of this era, if you will. Tony Mejia, everyone. Tony, anything to promote?
Just come visit my page at WagerTalk. We'll have plays in soccer, baseball, and the NBA, obviously, for the rest of the week.
Excellent stuff. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. You can find Tony at WagerTalk.com. Teddy's going to get ready for his big game breakdown. We got Carmine Bianco and Arthur DiCesare still to come. And, of course, Prez's penalty box segment, and I'm in revenge mode today.
Gianni the Greek over the past 30 days has increased client bankrolls by plus 47%. Is looking to repeat his 2020 #1 overall profit title at WagerTalk, where he not only took the title last year, but has never had a losing calendar year at WagerTalk and is #1 and 2 in all profits across all sports. Right now, you can lock in 45 days of plays for the price of 30 for a limited time, saving yourself $200+ over the regular price.
It's time for today's big game breakdown, and we have to talk some MLB on today's show. Why not talk about the marquee matchup for tonight? That, of course, the Padres and the Dodgers, the finale of their 3-game set. Right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, I'm seeing the Padres about -115 at home. There is some variance there. You can find them as low as -110. You can find them as high as -120. Let's call it -115 right now. For San Diego, total sitting at 7.5 to the under. There are some 7 to the overs popping up as well. There's been a fair bit of under money in this ballgame, and there's no surprise considering the starting pitching matchup here of Bauer versus Musgrave, and of course considering the fact that the Dodgers bats have certainly been cooled off for the first couple games of this series. Right now, San Diego is a one-way team for me. A week ago, they were fade only. Oh, they had a miserable road trip. They came home, they were 1-5 on the road trip. They were 4-13 over a 17-game span. And what's happened since that time? They won 6 straight. And they're bringing it with a vengeance. They've had, close to 250,000 fans over 6 games. I think it's 235,000 fans over the last 6 games at Petco with a full house. And it's made all the difference. Blake Snell after last night's win. You guys are bringing it, talking to the crowd, and we're bringing it. I promise you, we feel it, winning every game on this homestand so far. And of course, Padres are crushing the baseball right now. 16 doubles, a triple, 11 home runs. That's 28 extra base hits in the first 6 games of this homestand. Manager Jace Tingler, quote, "We're driving the fastball and not fouling it off." All these games with the Dodgers have been very intense. Right now, we feel like we're in a good spot, and we're feeding off some of the energy in the ballpark for sure. It certainly helps playing the Dodgers that intensity is there. So the money line is set based on the power ratings of the 2 teams, the power ratings of the pitcher numbers, and any fatigue factors, et cetera, et cetera. And the money line says, yeah, this should be pretty close to a pickup. Every quote coming out of San Diego saying We're in great form right now. We're hitting the ball well. Our pitching's been really good. The intensity is there. The fan support is there. And those are all things that aren't necessarily factored into this money line. The money line is statistically based. I think these factors are worth something for the Padres. And I know that Bauer's been real good against the Padres in 2 previous starts against them this season. And I know that Musgrove needed 77 pitches to get through 3 innings against LA in his only appearance against them this year. I understand all of that. Right now, the Padres are one way. We're playing San Diego in this series, or we're not playing the game. Give me the Padres minus 115 at home against the Dodgers. LA gets swept tonight. There you have it, Prez. Big game breakdown. Back to you, my friend.
Teddy, I got that game coming up in the penalty box segment as well. Nicely done. Welcome, everyone, to Wager Talk today. Please hit that like button for us. And also, we are under 100 people away from 72,000 subscribers. We want to get to 100,000 before football season, and we need all your help. Please take 2 minutes, hit that like button for us, and subscribe to our channel. Teddy, let's bring Carmine Bianco in. Carm, a good friend of mine. Carm, you've been absolutely slaying it. Guys, every breath he has taken on Wager Talk today this week has resulted in a W. So nicely done, Carm. 4-0 with your picks. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good thing I wasn't on the earlier segment because I'd probably be swearing at the screen while I'm actually talking to you guys, because I'm on Spain today, and for the second time in this tournament, they were given a penalty kick, and for the second time in this tournament, they missed the penalty kick. So that game's going on right now, and I'm still hopeful of a Spain win. So let's get on to these 2 games.
Well, Carm, should we grab Spain in game right now?
Well, I'd rather you grab them pre-game, but the price is probably a little bit better. So it's a game they need at this point. It's a game they need to win. So it doesn't always needing to win doesn't always equate into victories. As you know, must wins are not a handicapping tool.
No, they are certainly not. Carm, let's get into the first game, Croatia versus Scotland. We got plus 120 for Croatia, plus 200
Wrong
for
game,
Scotland.
Lawrence.
Plus, whoa, I've messed up completely.
Germany and Hungary.
Then, what? Oh, yes, Germany. Oh, my God, I'm such an idiot. That was yesterday. How did that one work? I don't even see the score.
I can give you the winners of yesterday's games if you'd like.
Yeah!
It would make for a great show. I think they call that past posting.
Hey, listen, we all make mistakes. I didn't delete yesterday's plays. I'm okay with it. Move on. Germany minus 600. Hungary plus 1,400. Do they have any? I mean, I love 1,400 and I'm hungry.
Okay, that's good that you're hungry. But as far as this game goes, this group of death, and both games at 3:00, and the 2 games we're discussing are from the group of death, Group F, as they call it. And there's a lot up for grabs. Obviously, Germany will win this group with a win today over Hungary, and they are favored by a couple goals in this game. But that has to be coupled with France not winning today. So a France draw or loss to Portugal, and that gives Germany the group. That price is way too high. You can't lay that number. So I always give you guys some alternatives on how to bet it. You can take something like a Germany to win to 0, which means Germany win the game, not allow a goal, and that line is minus 125. I'm kind of hoping that goes that way. The Hungary doesn't score. I took as one of my props in this tournament them to score under 2.5 goals in the tournament. Hungary, that is, and they've only scored 1 thus far. Another way of looking at this, and there's probably going to be some goals in this game, is to take Germany. It's the one that's called result total goals. Every book offers it. You take Germany to win and over 3.5 goals, and you get the plus 125. So that's a plus money proposition bet that you can take. And all of the games I've given you so far this week on Wager Talk are all plus money bets that have come in. So let's try and keep that going here. At the very least, Germany's guaranteed second with a win today. It'll all depend on what goes on in that France game as to whether they win the group or not.
So, I mean, Group F is still very much up for grabs. I mean, France has advanced, but they still have a chance to at first place with a win. And Portugal needs something to avoid being eliminated. What are we going to do with the France-Portugal match today?
Yeah, this is the interesting one because this is almost France. France on 4 points are guaranteed a spot in the knockout stages. France literally is today is pick your opponent in the next round by their results. A France win today will send them, will give them first spot, and they will play Switzerland. Now, the only way they wouldn't play Switzerland in the next round is if they beat Portugal by more than 2 goals. That would actually knock Portugal out of the Euros and let Ukraine into the Euros based on goal differential, and France will play Ukraine. If France draw today against Portugal, they will play England in the round of 16. And I'm sure 3 Lion fans in London are not looking forward to that one because this is a very good France team. And they lost today to Portugal, will send France in as the number 3 seed, and they would play the Netherlands. So I think the important thing here for France is probably trying to win this game still, but they're going to get a Portugal side that are trying to avoid defeat. Portugal's thing today is quite simple. Try and win the game, but try not to lose the game. And if you're going to lose the game, do not lose by more than 2 goals. A loss of 2 goals will send them out of this competition. So they'll be playing a tighter game. I expect this to be tight for at least the first 45 minutes, and that's the way we're going to go here. The draw for the first 45 minutes, so the halftime draw is plus 110 at books right now, and that's another plus proposition on a game where the total is 2.25 goals. And as you guys talked about, the Asian line of 2.25 goals, that's a split line of 2.5. So if you're betting 100, 50 of your money is on 2, 50 is on 2.5, and that's the way they work out that Asian line. They're not expecting a lot of goals in this game. I tend to believe the same thing, so I'm going to go with the first half draw plus 105.
Carmine Bianco, everyone. Carm, thanks so much. You coming on tomorrow or Friday to talk futures going into round? Friday? You got
Friday.
It.
Tomorrow I'm having lunch with our good friend Rob Braley.
Yeah, and I was supposed to come, but it was lunch, and this show is more important to me than lunch with you. Not Rob Braley, though. Rob Braley, all right. I'm all for. I'm golfing today, by the way. Over and under 100. Each of you want to take a shot? Am I going over or under?
I'm going to say you go over 100 unless you get the foot wedge out, and if you do, you'll probably break 100.
Yeah, if I could trust you to count your strokes and not cheat, I would take the over for the limit. But what is it? A par 3 course?
Yeah, no, it's a regulation par 4. And I do use my foot, and I have also been known when people aren't looking to take the ball and throw it, especially on my chip shots. Yeah, why not, right? Carm, what do you got to promote?
Well, I have a 5% play, but it's already started. It is Spain, so I'll keep watching this game once I get off air, and that's pretty much it for today. Unfortunately, the knockout stages start on the weekend. I'm gonna have some plays up, and we'll talk about those on Friday.
Carmine Bianco, everyone. Carm, we got a lot of listeners on Puck Time and Wager Talk who do live in our area. Let's see if we can put maybe a golf day together. I'm sure Abid and some of these guys would be interested. So email Carm and let him know if you're interested.
Sounds good.
Get out of here, brother. Teddy Covers. Teddy Covers, just want to let everybody know you got a 5% play up tonight over at Wager Talk. You've been excited. This play's been up. You're excited about this play. I felt it. Read your analysis. Looked good. You pumped?
I am excited about it. It's a 5% play, dude. I don't release a ton of them. We've been in a good run with the big tickets, 4-1 the last 5. So we'll see if we can cash one in game one tonight as the Bucks take on the Hawks. Like I said, that's available right now over WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com.
Yeah, and it's good. It's gonna be a fun game. I'll tell you what Trae Young has done is just outstanding, and what I love about him is that Reggie Miller-ness. Like, he's just getting everybody on the other team, all their fans off against him, and that's got to be so much fun. That's so the Prez. Like, if I was a big time, basketball player and I'm hitting threes, I'm turning to the crowd. I'm bowing. I mean, the narcissism that would flow out of me would be electric.
Sure, you've got villain written all over you.
Right?
Super villain, perhaps. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would have no argument with that projection for you if you had basketball talent, which you don't.
I was big time into wrestling when I grew up. Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Snuka, Iron Sheik, all like that whole time, Mr. Morocco. I wanted so bad to be a wrestling manager. Do you think I would have made a great wrestling manager? Get with that mic total.
Like that option's not open for you anymore. If you decided today, I want to be a wrestling manager, you're gonna tell me you couldn't do that? Prez, don't.
Well, who the hell's good? Okay, Mr. Vince McMahon, if you're listening to Wager Talk Today, and I know you do time to time, I'm prepared to give up this show and hit the road. I'd love to be a wrestling manager. I'm game. It'll be a good swan song to an excellent career, and it'll be a blast, Teddy, a blast.
Shut up. You would not give up this show to go travel around and be a wrestling. No. You wouldn't do it. You'd last a week.
Dude, I wouldn't last an hour. I'm so lazy now, dude. Oh, my God. Anyway, Arthur DiCesare joining us. Art, welcome to Wager Talk Today. We love having you. What's going on over at the LINQ?
Good morning, gentlemen. Pleasure to be here as always. Busy times at the LINQ. Obviously, the end of these playoffs and, baseball in full swing, Euros, college baseball, lot happening, and it's very busy and a lot of fun.
Art, if I was a wrestling manager, Teddy.
I'm gonna go cut off Prez because he's wanting to talk about wrestling still, and we're not going to talk about wrestling anymore. But I want to ask you now. Normally, in a normal year, which last year wasn't and this year wasn't, in a normal year, things slow down in the sports book right about now. NBA finals coming to an end, NHL finals coming to an end, and it's basically some baseball and some golf and some tennis and some soccer, but between here and, say, the start of the NFL preseason is the downtime in the books. That doesn't look like that's the case this year. I've been down on the Strip a fair bit over the last couple of weeks, and it's just packed every day. Are you feeling the effects of no downtime this year? Are you gassed, Arthur? And what do you make of the cycle this year that is so different from cycles in years past?
Teddy, absolutely. If you look at NBA Finals and Stanley Cup at this point in a regular year would be over. So we would basically just be, like you said, dealing with the other sports, but we would just be in basically baseball mode right now. I don't mind it. I really think we're really only going to get, about 6 weeks or so until, we're putting out preseason stuff. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's great that we're going to kind of roll right into the NFL because obviously that's what we live for in the sports book. But I don't mind that the, NHL and NBA has gotten pushed back, but you definitely see it. You definitely see, the vibe on the Strip is a lot different in late June, early July than it normally would be. I mean, this is normally the time where it's like, okay, a couple people are hanging around the book. But, I mean, hey, last night we were packed for that game. Not only the Knights, but that NBA game with how crazy it was. It was a very packed Tuesday on a late June in the sportsbook, which was great.
Arthur, speaking about how busy Vegas is, how packed your sportsbook is, Bill C218 passed in Canada yesterday. There'll be single game betting in Canada. That's gotta cause Vegas to shake in their boots, right? I mean, you're going like, oh my God, no, we're gonna lose everybody to Canada now.
Listen, Prez, I think it's great that happened. We are not shaking in our boots.
Damn
well, let me follow with that, Arthur, because what we have seen, okay, Jersey's taking a cut, and Pennsylvania's taking a cut, and Louisiana's taking a cut, and Illinois is taking a cut, and all of these states. Not that all of that money would flow into Vegas, but some of that money would flow into Vegas. Do you think that the era of Las Vegas being the center of the sports betting world, the universe, maybe, or certainly in the United States, you think those days are drawing to a close now? Or is it still going to be Vegas and everyone's following Vegas's lead and Vegas and everybody else? Or is Vegas now, as the tide shifted in that regard, and Vegas is not the leader for sports betting anymore?
You know, Teddy, when I look at that, and, you know, I've been asked that question a lot. I think when something's new, obviously it's going to, you know, you're going to get a little cut in. Obviously Jersey and, you know, the East Coast taking a chunk and all these other states. But I always look at it like this. I think when we get back to regular stuff, which we're getting, no mask, you know, everything open, Vegas is still Vegas. People come to Vegas, obviously for sports betting and everything else, but they come for the great restaurants and the shows and all that stuff that not any of these other states are going to offer. I mean, New Jersey and Illinois and all these places are great places, but they don't offer what Vegas offers. They never will. And yes, we're going to take a little bit of a hit early on when these states get sports betting. And hey, listen, God bless these states, and they should have sports betting. Everyone should have sports betting. It was silly that it was illegal in all these states, but Vegas is still going to be Vegas. That's just how I always am going to feel, because we offer more things than anyone else does.
Art DiCesare and Teddy, you didn't mention Canada there. That's where I'd be worried, Art, just laying it out there right now. Art, let's talk NBA tonight. What do you like? What's going on at the book? Any big bets that you're seeing? What do we know about Bogo? Fill us in.
Yeah, so game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, Hawks at Bucks, you know, as we all kind of predicted, right? So when we opened Hawks minus 7.5. It went to 7. This morning it is now 8. So we have Bucks laying 8. Total went from 227.5 to 226. So you've seen a 1.5 move on the total. I heard you guys talk about it. I think 8's a lot. I mean, the Bucks have been very inconsistent. Obviously, they've had a couple days off here, but you know, are they going to be able to get up for game 1 against a team like the Hawks, who they're obviously expected to win? They're expected to, you know, minus 450 on the, you know, the series line or whatever that may be. So, and the Hawks have been game, and that's a lot of points. Trae Young's been phenomenal. So 8 might be a lot, but, you know, people have not been afraid yet. They've been laying the money with the Bucks. Bucks are going to be money line in everyone's parlays. We just know that. So be interesting to see the way this series starts off, but I would say it's been slight buck money so far.
Slight buck money at the LINQ in NBA action for game 1. How did last night work out for you with the Golden Knights losing, with Phoenix winning but not covering? Was that I would have to think both of those results were very good for the house last night.
Yeah, absolutely, Teddy. Listen, you know, it's weird. The sports books are in a funny position. A lot of us, you know, not me, but, you know, a lot of people work in the books, and this, a lot of people are Knights fans. So they're kind of like rooting for the Knights, but they're not rooting for the Knights. So they get in this like weird position where it's like, well, that's my team. I'm wearing a Knights jersey, but you know, if the Knights win, they win the cup, we kind of get killed here. So it's an interesting dynamic in the sports book sometimes. Obviously, anytime the Knights lose, it is good for the sports books. It just is. And yes, the Clippers covering that spread last night was good for us. A lot of people were on, you know, the Suns, and I guess rightfully so. That was a wild game. And, you know, if the Clippers would have won outright, that would have been amazing, because, you know, a lot of Suns money line parlays, a lot of Suns just on the money line. So it falling one like that was a good result for us.
And Art, I do want to ask you one follow-up on something you said a minute ago before we go to MLB and NHL for this evening. But you talked about how Vegas as a destination isn't going anywhere. You know, the Illinois isn't a destination. Canada, for as nice a country it is, no one's going to Canada to place bets. You know, you come to Vegas to do that. So I understand that. Certainly that's not going to change. But from a sports book's perspective, from a handle perspective, a lot of the money used to flow into Vegas. and that money doesn't seem like it's flowing into town anymore. Do you think the overall handle in Nevada is going to drop as the other states rise?
Yeah, Teddy, I could definitely see that. I will say this, though. I think one thing, and I know I've had talks with people when we've had, little meetings, we're going to have to do a better job as Vegas as offering more, especially for the betting, menu. A lot of these states, you see a lot of these states, the things that they offer, Vegas isn't necessarily offering that yet in a lot of the sports books, mine included. We're going to have to do a better job of staying with these other places that are offering a bigger menu. And we can't just be stuck in everyone's going to come to Vegas because we're Vegas and Vegas moves the needle. We're going to have to kind of keep up with the Joneses and be offering a lot more and more props and more things that you could parlaying futures. So we're going to have to step our game up if we want to, continue to be the mecca for sports betting.
Have you seen signs of that?
Not yet. I mean, we've definitely had a lot of talks about it, and there have been talks about it, and it's going to have to be something that we do, because I can't tell you, every day I have someone come into my sportsbook saying, hey, do you guys offer this? And, they've seen it at a different competitor in a different state. And, I always give them the, unfortunately, we're not offering that right now, but, it's something we're going to look down the road to do. So, yeah, I mean, every day I'm getting people coming in. And it's not even that they're that exotic of bets, but it's just more props and more parlaying of futures and just offering a bigger betting menu. We're going to have to start doing that. There's no doubt about it.
So, Art, I want to talk to you about that as a really quick a follow up, just to let you know. I mean, look, our listeners are chatting it up in the chat room, and way before we even got to that topic, Vic Matt writes, Vegas props are a joke. My buddy is there now and can't hardly bet anything. Listen, the LINQ, awesome place. Why don't you guys use this opportunity to separate yourself? I mean, you've got the Circa getting all this publicity, and you've got, all these other sports book Caesars with that monster room to watch games at. Obviously, the Westgate has staked their claim to be a dominant force in sports betting in Vegas. Dude, get your boss on WagerTalk Today next Wednesday. And the five of us will roll up our sleeves, and we will figure out a way to separate the LINQ from the rest. The LINQ, where you bet props.
No, Prez, I'm with you. Hey, listen, I don't want to say I've been pounding the table about this, but I understand. I've said this numerous times on the show. The young people are going to really start moving this, the needle on this. I mean, a lot of the young people and it's all the younger people, all the younger guys in their early to mid 20s who are coming into my sports book saying, hey, are you offering this? It's not the 55, 60-year-old bettor who's saying, hey, do you have, this prop tonight? I mean, yeah, once in a while, but it's the younger guys. They're the ones who are obsessed with the props. They want to parlay the props. They want to do all this type of funky stuff. And we're just not offering it. And listen, they're still going to make their bets on the sides of the total, but they kind of walk away saying, wait, why aren't you guys offering that? So listen, I've been a big proponent of this, and I really hope that it changes, because it needs to change.
Keep beating that drum, Art. Keep beating that drum. And we'll do our best to give you as much backing as you need from the WagerTalk community. We got to shift focus real quick here and start talking about a little action tonight. We talked about NBA briefly. Let's talk about the MLB card for today. What are you seeing in terms of sharp money and or public money on today's baseball card?
Teddy, when I was looking at the slate early this morning, not a lot really to talk about. I mean, the two things that have kind of moved, we opened the Yankees minus 150. It's moved to minus 170. So you've seen some Yankee money. I don't think that's any surprise. Coming off a bad loss last night at home to Kansas City, even with Michael King on the hill, you still see Yankee money, but we always see Yankee money. And then Oakland at Texas, we opened Oakland minus 150. It did get to minus 135. It's moved back to 142. So you've seen a little bit of Texas money there, but now some Oakland money has come back. So kind of nice two-way action on that, but slight money coming in on Texas over Oakland today.
Art DiCesare, Art, NHL tonight, New York Islanders, Tampa Bay. New York Islanders been a dog every single game in the playoffs. Really amazing. Same with Montreal, and look what both of those teams are doing. Now we got Barry Trott's team coming off of a destruction. What kind of money are you taking on this game? Where is it going?
So, yeah, open Lightning minus 160. I'm sorry, open Lightning minus 145, got to 160. So you instantly saw Lightning money. It's now back to 150. Yeah, I mean, if you like the Islanders tonight, this is going to be the best price you're going to get them at. Basically, at home, you're getting them at plus 130. Games 3 and 4, they were basically plus 110, plus 115. So you're getting, 15, 20 cent difference on the Islanders to keep their season alive. A lot of the times you can look at it like, hey, just wipe what happened in Game 5 out. It just, it was a snowball they couldn't stop. I personally like the Islanders tonight. I know the Lightning are incredible. They're the defending champs, but that building's going to be rocking. You just know it's going to be. So you would think the Islanders come out, and they got to come out fast, maybe even take the Islanders in the first period. Total sitting at 5. If you like the over, you got to pay 130 on that over.
Excellent stuff. Art DiCesare, everyone. Art, what do you got to promote?
As always, gentlemen, the LINQ, I'm telling you, our fan case has just been buzzing. They really have. Not even just for any, Knights game, which, last night it was buzzing for the Knights. But anytime there's an NBA game, it was funny. When we didn't have NBA on Monday, it was really quiet in the sports book. It was weird. Obviously, it was a slow slate in the MLB, and we had the one hockey game, which ended up being an 8-0 hockey game. So, yeah, it's so crazy how the NBA really moves the needle in the sports book. It really does. So just come down and check us out, guys. We have just one of the best viewing spots, 12 fan caves. It's just a really fun time. And, I'm always there, always down to say hi, talk to people, and, give advice, help anyone out who's a new bettor, because I see all you new bettors every day in the book. So just come down and say hi at the LINQ, guys.
Awesome stuff. Art DiCesare, everyone, joins us every Wednesday. Guys, it's time. It's the penalty box segment. Then I am hungry, and I got a golf game. So let's go, Joe. God, we're still dancing to that theme song. It's been months, and we can't stop. Anyway, I want to thank our guests, WagerTalk Today. If you guys are watching this on Twitter, you missed a hell of a show. Tony Mejia, Carmine Bianco, and Art DiCesare joined us. We talked NBA, a little bit of baseball, and a whole lot of soccer. You can check us out every day, 12 to 1 Eastern, at our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. And we also need you guys to subscribe to our channel. We are only less than 100 away from 72,000 subscribers. We'd like to thank you guys all for that. As for bets for today, I've got 4 for you guys. And, like Art said, I like the New York Islanders tonight, guys. Not enough to release it to my clients, but I do like them at plus 130 to win the game. I also like them in the first period tonight. I think we're going to get a massive push by the Islanders in the first period. So take New York Islanders in the first period and New York Islanders on the game. I have no opinion on the total, but I wouldn't bet it under, betting under 5. I mean, last night I bet under 5. I pushed. You want to talk about a heart attack waiting to happen, just keep betting under 5s. Baseball, Teddy spoke about the Padres tonight. I like the under in this game. 7.5 is the total. I think we're going to get a low-scoring game. Take the under. And in basketball, I like the Hawks at plus 8. But I do lean on Milwaukee in the first half. I think we've seen this play out a few times. Atlanta, just a second-half team right now. Just a great team altogether, plus 8 points. I'll take Milwaukee first half and Atlanta on the game. Teddy, take us home, baby.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the Wednesday edition of Wager Talk Today. Prez, thanked everyone already. I'm going to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon on the East Coast. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Are you ready for football season? Yes, you heard right. The NFL kicks off in less than 50 days, and WagerTalk and Gold Sheet have you covered with the new Gold Sheet NFL Summer Guide. The Gold Sheet NFL Summer Guide is over 80 pages of actionable NFL handicapping information to help you prep for this season from a betting perspective, and best of all, the guide is free. This includes lines for every NFL game, schedule with Ralph Michaels' exclusive power ratings, position-by-position breakdown with every NFL player that made a start last season, exclusive NFL health reports for each team, and much more. Just go to thegoldsheet.com and the guide is available on the front page with no sign up or information needed.